United States President Donald Trump says Israel has agreed to the necessary conditions to finalize a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza, but Hamas has yet to confirm its position. Posting on Truth Social, Trump stated that the US will work with all parties to end the war during this proposed pause. Qatar and Egypt, the main mediators, will deliver what Trump called a final proposal to Hamas. In Trump's words, "I hope that Hamas takes this deal because it will not get any better. It will only get worse." Despite this, Israel has not publicly confirmed it has fully agreed to all the terms. Hamas has replied that it is ready and serious about a ceasefire, but insists any agreement must clearly end the war completely, with Israel withdrawing troops and ceasing hostilities for good. A Hamas delegation is expected to meet mediators in Cairo to discuss the proposal, but the group has not formally signed on yet. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to meet with Trump next week in Washington, and the president says he will be very firm in discussions. Trump claims Netanyahu wants to end the fighting and said, "This week, I think we'll have a deal next week." Israeli Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer is also meeting senior US officials in Washington, including Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and Vice President J.D. Vance. Meanwhile, Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, Danny Danon, told the BBC news service that Israel is absolutely ready for a ceasefire, but claimed Hamas is playing hardball. He warned that if Hamas doesn't come to the table, Israel would resume military pressure to bring the hostages home. About 50 Israeli hostages are still believed to be in Gaza. At least 20 of them are thought to be alive. The proposed ceasefire would include the release of some hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and a halt to Israeli operations for 2 months, along with humanitarian aid flowing into the territory. Hamas has long demanded a permanent truce and a complete Israeli withdrawal from Gaza. Israel, however, insists the conflict can only end when Hamas is fully dismantled, a stalemate that has stalled previous deals. In fact, a similar ceasefire agreement collapsed in March when Israel launched strikes citing Hamas's military buildup and alleged plans for new attacks. Israel ordered new evacuations in northern Gaza this week and launched strikes that killed at least 20 people at a seafront cafe in Gaza City, according to medics and eyewitnesses. Since the war began following Hamas's attack on Israel in October 2023, which left about 1,200 Israelis dead, more than 56,000 Palestinians have been killed, according to Gaza's health ministry. Humanitarian organizations continue to sound the alarm, with more than 170 NGOs, including Oxfam and Save the Children, who are calling for the closure of the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, accusing Israeli forces of opening fire on civilians seeking aid. Israel denies this and argues the foundation is necessary to prevent Hamas from diverting supplies. The big question now is whether Hamas will agree to this latest deal. If Hamas rejects, the alternative could be an escalation, something few in the region want to see again. For now, all eyes are on the mediators in Qatar and Egypt and whether their final proposal can bridge the gap before more lives are lost. For more issues from the Middle East explained, follow NewsX World.